Hello everyone, it's Akocha. How are you doing?
Well, today we want to talk about which one would make you sleep faster, whether it's the bong or the wine. Now, for the wine one, we are going to also do whiskey and beer, just to test out different um like say alcohol or alcoholic substance. Now we'll start with the bong. We'll check how many times you have to like intake it before it makes us sleep. Then we'll then go for the wine and check how many times you intake it to make us sleep. Now for this one, all you have to do is take it once and you're already in that alcoholic mode for GTA 5. But something surprising happens. When you take it in again, at least for Franklin, it will turn off. As you see, the thing will just like it's like if you take it the first time, you get the effect, alcoholic effect. If you take it the second time, it cancels out. Now I tried it again to know whether it was just that it was a mistake the first time. But like you can see, if I take it again, the thing will turn on. But if you take it again, it will turn off again. As you could see what's happening here. So like if this is the case for this one, I will have to go to the wine and check that one out. Then I will come back to this one later. But just to test this one out again, because it might be that even if it's turning off, it might just be a mistake and after a certain amount of time, like after doing it a certain amount of time, you would sleep. But I don't know whether that would be the case because if that would be the case, like the effect should be like increasing with each one you take, not actually like turning on and turning off like if there's an on off switch. But the thing is that what I'm not going to have to do is to test it to another character. Maybe Franklin himself have something of that sort, but at least he gets to blow himself off. He cannot make us angry and we will not get angry. And if he makes us angry, he will be like, what will I say? Something will do to him to like pay back. Now for the wine, we are not going to come to the wine and check how many times you have to drink it. Now for this wine, I made a shot about how many times you have to drink it before you get to that alcoholic mood. It was about 9 times. Now I did not count how many times I have to drink it before you now sleep. But the case is still the same because like for this wine now, you should have like wine in most parts, not every wine, but you have less alcoholic content than like say whiskey and beer because and the beer only even if it has more alcoholic content than the beer, you know that the beer is a full bottle. Unlike this one, you just pour a small portion of it to the cup and drink. That the beer you find in um Franklin's old house, like his aunt's house, you drink everything. It doesn't take that amount of time to drink it, like if you want to like drink a full bottle of beer, but that's what you are assuming since you just take up a full bottle of beer and download it. So that's how we just gonna assume that that would be the case. But for this one, I have to drink it multiple times before that happens. And people already know that since I'm just gonna cook it up, there's no need of us counting how many times it will take because it takes a long time. And in as much as you might think it might not take enough time because this land is cooking up, if you're doing it on your own, it's not really that simple. Like to get to the point where you just sleep and just like the other debunk case, if you get into the alcoholic mode the first time, what will now happen is that if you drink it again, I don't know whether it's that the effect cancels out immediately. And the second one you're gonna drink after that, it will not be like if you return back to normal. But if you drink it again, you go back to alcoholic mode. But unlike the bong, if you keep on drinking it, the effect will not keep on increasing. That is that the bong own. I did this time. For each odd number, it turned me on. For each even number, it turned me off. So for this one, like after the first time that he did that, every other successive time you will get like the effect will increase. Like let's say I walk out of this place now and stop drinking it, you will notice that it is stronger than if I just like had it at once. Now that I have passed out, I wake up in my home, of course. Then it will not be case less test for other people. Now, in Michael's house, this is new house, you will find a wine. In Franklin's house, the new house, you'll find a wine. In Michael's house, you'll find a whiskey. In Trevor's house, you'll find a whiskey. In Franklin's old house, that's his son's house, you'll find a beer. So we can only drink the one that we saw in the person's house. So now for Michael now and Trevor also. But we are going to check it out so that you will not say that I just said it and you check my word for it. We are going to check each of the characters so that you see it for yourself. For the Michael's own, when you're taking in the whiskey, the thing is that when you get turned on, a few more shots after getting turned on, you will not be able to drink it again. Like you will lose the ability to, like, you just close it by himself and you cannot press that button again to like drink it whenever you want, even if you want. So that's a problem you're going to encounter in this stuff. Also, I drank this green juice to know whether it will cancel that effect. I knew that it would not, but I was just curious to know whether maybe it might reduce the effect, but it doesn't do that. Now, for Trevor, also, I said we check out for Trevor. Also, in his house, you'll find a whiskey. I don't know about his house in Sandy Shores, whether you're going to find anything there. I've not actually checked, but even if you're going to find a wine, it will just be like, it might take more time than Franklin, because we should already know that Trevor is already a drunkard. Okay, maybe he might not be a drunkard, but he behaves like one. So we're going to assume that he might take more time for him. But it doesn't matter how much time it takes, because we just want to know which one takes the least amount of time to get you to sleep. Now we have seen that for wine gets you to sleep. The two whiskey that we drank down for Michael and Trevor, it can't really get you to sleep. If it allows you to keep on drinking tea whenever you pass out, it should get you to sleep faster than the wine even. But as you can see, it doesn't allow me to do that. Once you get turned on, a few shots after getting like in the alcoholic mood, can't sleep. Now you might see me waking up from a bed. That's not because I slept. It's because I just went to go and sleep so that it will be like if that's now. In this section that I played in practice, if you pack out from this is old house, you cannot go back to this old house. So I went back to a save where I was in this old house just to go and drink this beer to know whether it can make him sleep. Now the funny part is that the only person that can sleep with the drink he has in his house is Franklin. For Michael and Trevor that has whiskey, you can't really sleep based on the drink they have in their house, because once you get in the alcoholic mode, after a few shots and in the alcoholic mode, you cannot drink again. Now for Franklin's part in the wine, you can drink again and you can keep on drinking until you pass out. Also for this beer, like I already told you, it gets you like to the alcoholic mode faster, because like I said, even though it doesn't take a lot of time of drinking a full alcoholic beer, like a full bottle of beer, that's what the game is assuming. So it takes short amount of time to get to alcoholic mode and short amount of time to get to sleep for drinking. So, but you already know that at least I didn't find this beer in his new house. I could only find the wine. So you only assess what you could find in the person's house. And since we cannot come into this place after we pack out, though I don't know why, because we should be able theoretically be able to visit our auntie. They're not on good terms, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's not that bad that once he just packs out, he can't even step into the place. And there's like the new activity. Maybe the doctor just wanted to not be coding for his house and the new house when he's not even there. But back to the video that I'm talking about, we just have to take this one short amount of time and we pass out too. So if you are looking to pass out by drinking, the two people you can do it, at least in house. Like there are other places you can drink. Maybe you take your friends out or even you go out yourself. But in the house alone, the one person that can pass out by drinking is Franklin. Either he drinks the wine in the new house or he drinks the beer in the old house. Michael and Trevor can't pass out because the whiskey should be able theoretically to make them able to pass out. The problem comes that once a few shots after getting into alcoholic mode, which is what is more than necessary, which is not what is needed, like it's not up to what is needed to make you pass out, you cannot drink again, at least in this version of 55. Because I'm going to show you a problem I had with Michael taking the bong. Now will make you know that there are different versions of GT5. I knew about that, but I didn't think that it mattered, at least for this kind of situation. So it might be that in different versions that you might be able to get Michael and Trevor to sleep by drinking whiskey. And also, I didn't find the whiskey in any of Michael's house. You usually find the whiskey in their kitchen. So you already know that since I didn't find it, I highly doubt it is there. But regardless of the case, like I already told you before, I will check out the bong for another character to know which one will be better, like faster to get you to sleep. Now this is all theoretical if you want to do this sleeping stuff, because there might be a few reasons why you might want to keep on drinking or smoking this bong stuff till you sleep. But I ran into a problem with Michael again. Now, like in that section that I was in the previous save, Michael's family left his house, and this bong belongs to Jimmy. If he's not in the house, like he's not currently living there, you can't take the bong. You can only use this bong when he's around. So I had to also let that say 5 when he was still around. And there was still also a problem. He was sleeping in his bed, so I couldn't still use the bong, and I have to like kill myself to come back and see that he's no longer in the bed, so I cannot use the bong. But the problem I have with this bong is that if you smoke it the first time, you will get to the this alcoholic mode. But while smoking the second one, if you be like during the time you are smoking it, there will be no alcoholic effects. It's only when you are done smoking it again that there will be alcoholic effects. Now I did this thing multiple times to know whether it will get me to sleep. While I searched online and they said that yes, in the latest version of GTA 5, it would get you to sleep. But I don't know how many times. I didn't care about how many times because I did this thing for like 10 minutes. I paused, left, came back for another 10 minutes and did this again. That's 20 whole minutes. I didn't like show the whole 20 minutes yet because it was like, yeah, I told people I cooking some parts up. Because of that, it might not look like 20 minutes, but I actually videoed it for 20 minutes. I don't know whether I put the entire video of 20 minutes here because it was not necessary. But the entire point is that even if this version of GTA 5 would get me to sleep by smoking this bong, it will take a hell amount of time. And I'm not really think that it's necessary for you to go through all that just for you to get to sleep, just save the game. But this is just like fun. You know, sometimes you get bored in GTA 5 looking for something to do. You just want to do any kind of silly thing, like any kind of like just like when you pull out your phone and say just waste your time in the phone. It's just like the same concept that you just want to like drink. I don't want to feel like to be in alcoholic mode or pass out by drinking. It's just want to feel like you necessarily as a human being, it's not ready to keep on drinking or smoking this bomb stuff till you pass out. So at least we can do it in the game and try it out. But as far as passing out with this bomb goes, even if it's possible in this version, it's not worth it either for me or for you or even for you to watch. No matter how fast like we're it up, yes, you can get through it, but I highly doubt I will be able to video something for like 30 minutes just for me to know whether I will pass out from a bong. So as far as this video goes, even if I do pass out from the bong, it's completely unnecessary because as far as we already know, it took a short amount of time to pass out with the alcohol. Especially with the problem being that the only person that could pass out with the alcohol being Franklin can't even pass out from the bong because like I said, every odd number turns you on, every even number turns you off in successive progression at least. So if he can't even pass out from the bunk, you already know that the alcohol wins for this passing out. Now for the shot I did about which one will turn you on, like get to alcoholic mode faster, the bong won because like I already showed you, you just have to take it once, unlike the alcohol, either for any of the characters. Now for Trevor's part in his new house, each of the bunk, there are 2 bunks in his house. But the thing is that each of them are located near, one is near the TV, one is near the bed. So when I want to use the one in the room near the bed, it will only show me the option to sleep in the bed or change my clothes in my wardrobe if I turn the other way. The one in the sitting room will only show me the option to turn on the TV, so I couldn't use any of them. But it didn't really matter because I already know that I would kind of run into this kind of problem where it should take more time to sleep from the bunk, even if it's possible in this version to sleep from the bunk. So as far as this video goes, if you want to get sleepy by just drinking or smoking, the one you should go for is Franklin while drinking either the alcohol or the beer. The beer faster, it's fastest, followed by the wine. Then for the whiskey, it should be the second fastest after the beer, or even the first, maybe. But like I showed you, it's not possible to sleep through the whiskey. At least the whiskey we find in their respective houses. And for the bunk, maybe in your version it might be possible, but even if it's possible in your version, I still think it will take a hell amount of time. So I still think that as far as this video goes, I'll give it to the wine. The wine being what I generally call both the wine, the whiskey, and the beer, regardless of which one. But if you want to be call them out differently, then I would say that the beer is faster, at least for sleeping purposes, than the wine, the whiskey, and the bong for my version can't make you sleep. So that would be it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching.